Hi, it's Darcy again. Welcome to my very messy desk. But I was putting a journal together and I was going through my stash and I found this, and I thought I would show you how you can make it, or a couple different ways to make it. This one was just a piece of card that I folded on one side, and then I guess I was going to make it a pocket and added another thing there, which you don't have to do. And then attach that there. Then when you put it in like that, it just looks like a pocket. But in reality, it's a place where you could do some secret journaling. So it's a secret journaling spot. Plus, I did it in another video, but it's kind of like in the middle of it somewhere. And so I'll show you the other secret journaling spot that I came up with. That you may, if you watch Shell, the Rambling Crafter, you've seen her do it plenty. So, so I'll do that one second. Here's another example of this one with a bunch of my grungy paper, my painty paper. So this one I just used an index card, and I just folded. Now, of course, if I do this, then my top pocket, that when I put it on the page, has to go that way. Or I could cut one of these off, and I could make it a flip, which then gives you space to journal there. Or you don't have to do this at all, and you can make it, glued on however you want. And then there's your secret journaling spot there. And when you tuck it in, it just looks like the back decoration of your pocket. So when you have like a tag in there, that's the only tag I can find right this minute, it just kind of looks like a pocket with a tag in it. So yeah, so I thought I'd try to do it. If I have non-directional paper, it's a little bit easier. So I'm going to cut this in half. This is just regular scrapbook paper. So in half would be 6 inches. I'm trying something new. Because why would I do what I've already done? I'll do that too. But I thought that I would go ahead and fold that down like that, and fold that up a little bit past this line. So it's basically whatever you want your pocket to be, and then you just fold the rest down. I kind of wish I had left, if that's okay, I'll just reinforce it with something else. And then for if you want the pocket on the top, I would just do this. This one's definitely a lot bigger. Now most people have pages that are about 6 inches wide. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 3/4, depending on how wide you do your foldovers, which gives you kind of a gusset pocket. So now I'm going to snip off my corner here, and here, and here, and here. So now if I were to tuck this in like this, it would give me a little bit of decoration on the side of the page maybe, or I could just cut it totally off. So I'll probably cut it off, but I can't cut straight even though there's a line. So I just take it to my cutter, make sure it's lined up, and then just make sure that my cutter starts where I want it to start, so that I don't accidentally cut off the wrong, I don't want to cut too far up. Let's see, wow, I could actually see the fold better on the other side. So there. So I cut off the top pieces, and now this goes down all the way. And then these would go on the inside here. And I would probably also cut this just because it gives a little bit less bulky that way. Then you cut, then you cut, then you glue this side down. And size doesn't matter. Just give yourself an extra, whatever you want your width of your pocket to be. Give yourself about an inch more, just so that you have room for that gusset if you want to do the gusset. Whoops. Alright, so now when I flip this down, yeah, I can do this. Now this works probably best with non-directional paper, or like I did here, I did it sideways because there's like some music in there, and that way it's a little bit more non-directional, and kind of hide that there a little bit, I guess. And then you put your tag in there. I mean, maybe a bigger tag than that for this giant pocket. Not sure why I made it so giant. I think this one started out at 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 inches wide, which gave me a 4.5 inch pocket. And I know, just start where the 1 is, because it's confusing. So this would have been 3.5 plus about an inch for this pocket, so 4.5. So if I start with a 5.5 by 4.5 inch piece of, probably for that, the way you do it that way, you might want a little bit thicker cardstock, but it might not matter. All right, let me do that. 5.5 by 4.5. Actually, I'm gonna do 5 by 5 because I want that bottom pocket a little bit taller. That's what I was thinking. You could also maybe take your 6 by 6 inch papers and just use those as well. Okay. So I'm going to fold that bottom bit up and use my bone folders, which are my nails right now. And then I'm going to fold it. That's right, yeah. This way, if I want to do my gusset, now you don't have to do the gusset, that's optional. If you don't do the gusset, then you would just cut it an inch shorter, or whatever width you want your thing to be, that you want your pocket to be. Your thing is your pocket. Cutting off my corners here. And here you see I'm not even, it's okay, it doesn't matter. And then I want to cut this one too. And then this one goes on the inside. And of course these pockets can go this way in your journal, or they could go this way in your journal, depending on if you want a top loading pocket or a side loading pocket. What I like about doing the gussets is you get the whole width of the pocket. And so if you do it this way, keeping these, then you're definitely going to have your pocket going this way. Now we have this plain white back here. What are we going to do? Well, you can use a coordinating color, or you could use this. Let's use this one. So now I'm going to make sure that I'm going to do this way. Yeah, I'm going to just sit here and talk about it for 5 minutes. I'm just going to use my handy dandy pencil, because measuring is for people who like to measure. I'm not one of those people. Of course, I'm not one of those people that can keep track of a pencil either. I want one that's going to erase. I had one. I was using it just a little bit ago. There it is. It's right there. Alright, I want to go all the way to the edge here. And then for the height, I want it to be able to fold over and go just below this line. So right there. Now, what I could even do, if I want extra journaling space, is, where's my pencil line? I don't know, where is it? Alright, it's right there. I could just double that. So let's see, take my pencil line, put it to the top. So let's do that. I'm going to do double my journaling space. So it's going to go to about there. So just cutting there and cutting along that other pencil mark, which I've lost already. Right there. There it is. There we go. And then I'm just going to fold over on the top here. And then I still, where it's folded over, I'll just kind of come in like that, just so it doesn't show on the back after you fold it. And I'm going to fold this up. If I did it right, it should come out perfect. Let's see, make sure, yep, that'll fit in there. So now, move these out of the way and go ahead and glue this down. Now for it to fold well, you're going to probably want to leave just a tiny space where your fold is. It just helps it fold better and not lift as much probably. So now we have our pocket, and you put your tag in there. Oh no, I lost all my tags. Where'd all my tags go? So you put your tag in there, upside down even. And then also you have, you know, tag for back there. And other people won't know this, but you will, that there's some secret journaling spot in there. Now for the one, and you can do that with a little bit heavier cardstock. This one I did with index cards. Brain cramp there. Because they've been painted, they don't lay quite as flat. And this paper, because it's lighter, doesn't lay quite as flat. But this one seemed to lay a little bit flatter, at least when the tag's in there it will. And then it just looks like a decorated thing. This is a little bit heavier cardstock, and this is definitely, this is even heavier. So I think it works with whatever paper. If you wanted to reinforce the thinner paper, all you would have to do is you could either make it longer, so you fold it over, or just put a piece of washi tape or collage on it, whatever. Because you could also do this with book page and then just collage on it, and that gives it some heft too. All right, now I'm going to show you the one that Shell's been showing people. I've not made it with a whole 12 by 12 sheet of paper, but I thought that might be fun to do. So I'm going to go ahead and fold it up about to there. And this time I'm leaving this on because I am going to fold that over, just so that I have, it just gives it a look, because this is just regular craft paper. That's not the cardstock type paper. So it'll reinforce the top of my pocket. That's all. That's the only reason. Okay, now don't worry, the pocket's not going to be this big. So now I'm going to fold it in this way. I'm going to use this side so I get my straight edge here. About a third of the way. Is that what I'm doing? Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So you're going to end up with like a 4-inch pocket if you do it. And if you needed a way to see, you could always score it at 4 inches. But that's more materials, right? Now, it's okay that that doesn't meet there, because this is going to get folded this way. So find where our pocket is. Don't worry, we're going to cut off the bulk. And then this, we're folding down to just below this line here, or, you know, a little below there. And that's where that will get folded. Now here's the tricky part. We want this to go in the pocket here, right? We don't want all this bulk here. And also we want to be able to have our gusset over there. And we need for, let me put a line right here. We need this excess down here gone. So I'm going to put a light line right about the top of my pocket here. This piece is going away. It doesn't fold good. The more folds you have, the worse it is. So, whoops. Well, let's just measure this. That might be easier. It's 2 inches. All right. So 2 inches. Don't have to measure it. I don't usually measure it, but for some weird reason I am right now. Okay, here's the weird thing. 1, 2. My first line was nowhere near where it was supposed to be. Okay. So now, I need my scissors. We need to leave the back part. This back part here. So, also, this might make it a little easier for you too. Let's go ahead and do your 2 inches here as well. Because these are the 2 pages that we're just cutting those 2 pieces right there. And we might, I think we can cut them just above that line actually. Oh, sorry. I think my head might be in the thing. I need to figure out a better. Alright. Just one of these. So I'm actually going to cut. So this is the short end where the pocket's going to be. I'm cutting just above that line. So the opposite side of that line. That way it's free and clear. So this is the short end. Cutting above this line just a little bit. It just makes it so things don't get all caught and stuck. Okay. So this part we don't have to really do anything else with unless I might round my edges. So now we're going to do this pocket part. Don't worry that this is a little bit above the pocket because this comes down and takes care of that. So it, lines up. So now we are going to just cut off about 1/2 inch past there and about 1/2 inch on this side. Now you get some scraps. So if you were wondering if you'd ever have scraps again, you've got scraps. Now I'm going to cut there, make an angle, and it's a little bit easier to do. Oh, and then at the top, I'm going to open it back up and just cut my angles at the top here. And these get cut off. They're going to get covered, so I'm not afraid to do it with my scissors because it's not going to show. Pretty sure. Alright, so you're keeping the one at the very top. You're keeping those edges. You're cutting off the second bit that was down there. Okay, I'm going to angle here too, just taking out some bulk. Remember how bulky it was before? It should be way less bulky now. Now that's that top bit. That's my reinforcement bit. It just didn't cut off my strip, whatever those are called. What is that? Anyway, now I'm going to fold that up and I'm going to turn it over. And I'm going to glue these flaps down. And this gives us the whole pocket with so that we don't have to worry about the width of this. It should all be the same width. Okay, first of all, I think I'm done with my glue. I want my bone folder. I don't know where my bone folder is. So I'll use my scissors that folded down really good. And then my flap might be a little bit too long. If it's too long, all I have to do is cut it down. So this is a way to use up a piece of, if you don't have the thing that I'm looking for, which is my, whatchamacallit cutter, don't crease it, just put your corners together. Make them stay together, hold it up high enough, and just hold your fingers up higher because otherwise it just moves. Okay, ready? I can do it. I can do this. And then you can just round your corners. And not have, because it's just easier to get in and out if your corners are rounded. That's all. So, tuck that in there. And now you have a pocket. And you can put it on your page, on your journal page. Journal page. Let's pretend this is a journal page. You can glue here, here, and here and have a second pocket at the top. Or you can glue your tops and one of your sides and you have a side pocket. Or you could just glue the bottom and the top, put it in the middle of your page and kind of have a belly band kind of a thing going on. Any of those things. So, if you've never seen Shell the Rambling Crafter do it, now you've seen me do it. And she calls it Darcy's hidden journaling spot. That's actually the second one I came up with. The other one was, this one was the first one I came up with. So, you know, it depends on how much paper you have and how much journaling space. Like this gives you a little bit of journaling space. And this gives you, I do this with 8.5 by 11, you know, letter size or A4 size. Ah, but don't rip it like I just did. This should probably be a little bit shorter. Like right now it's going over like almost an inch. I do more like half an inch. I am going to cut that off a little bit. So now we know. Don't have it go too far down, because then you'll just rip your paper. But it's all right. Piece of and you have all this journaling space. And of course, your pocket could be like this, or it could go sideways like that. For some reason, my pockets were sideways when I first did them. Isn't that weird? And then Shell put them the right way. Well, there is no right or wrong way. It's just one way seemed more right at the time. Like when she did it, I was like, well, duh, yeah, that's how pockets go. So, yeah. So, I just am going to put a little piece of washi tape here on one side. And if you're worried about that happening, you can always just put, if it's going to get glued down in your book anyway, you can just put a piece of masking tape or just extra paper on the back just to reinforce it. But I've never had that happen before. That was a first. Now it just looks like you decorated it. There we go. So now, do this again. Maybe I was doing it on the wrong side because I'm right-handed. I should have been doing it this way maybe. There we go. You just want to make sure that it doesn't go above where your pocket is. I might not have made sure of that. There we go. Yeah, rounded corners tend to go down a little bit more easily. So there we go. Get your lots of journaling space inside here. And so yeah, that's it. 2 secret journaling spots, 2 of them. Here's the other one. You can use, for this one I just use regular paper and just reinforce the top pocket. This one I would have preferred to reinforce the top pocket, but I also like it with the cardstock, because the cardstock kind of, I don't know, it doesn't lay perfectly flat, but I don't know, I thought it was cute. So there you go. Secret journaling spots. Oh, and yes, Shell shares them all the time. The only reason that I even ever came up with a secret journaling spot was because of Shell. Because she loves her secret journaling spots. So yeah. That's what we've got here. Secret journaling spots. Never would have thought to do them myself. So thanks, Shell, for your inspiration. And yeah, I love when we inspire each other. All right, so I asked in a previous video for people to ask me questions. So I will answer one of them today. And then, you know, feel free to answer in the comments yourself. So the first question I got was, what is your favorite meal? I would have to say my favorite meal is a steak seasoned well, rare, like almost mooing, with a baked potato. Doesn't even have to be a loaded baked potato. It could just be baked potato with salt and butter, and you know, and not having to eat a vegetable with it. That's my perfect meal. I'll eat a vegetable. I like vegetables. I really do. Oh, I guess like the vegetable I would probably like with that would be smashed squash, summer squash. That's mashed summer squash, the way my mom used to make it. Oh, my aunt makes it that way too. I can never make it the same way. Maybe I don't get enough water out. I don't know. So that is it. Sorry for all that mess, but I'm working on finishing my purple and yellow journal, and then I'll have a flip through for you guys. And also I'll answer another question in the next video, if I remember. You all have a delightful day, and comment, like, subscribe, do all the things, because it really helps my channel. I don't push it much. I just kind of am here to have fun, and just, you know, I don't do tutorials much. I'm usually more of craft with me or playtime. So I've been trying to do that in my titles too. Like if it's a craft with me, I'll put craft with me : and what I'm doing. If it's playtime, usually anytime I'm doing mixed media, it's usually playtime. And this one, you'll see it'll say tutorial : and then what it is. So y'all have a delightful day. Love you guys.